Okay, so this is not financial advice. Do not take advice from me. I am a 16-year-old in high school. I know nothing about finances. So don't even. If you lose all your money to Dogecoin, if you lose all your money to a dead meme from 2013, then I am sorry. That is not my fault. I did not do that. This is not at all advice. So Dogecoin just tanked like 30%, and I guarantee you, a lot of people just lost a lot of money if they tried to sell out. Everyone was buying Dogecoin, thinking that like Elon Musk's appearance on Saturday Night Live was going to somehow skyrocket it to like $1 billion. Oh no. Basically, after he called it a hustle, it tanked like 30%. Now, I'm not saying that Dogecoin is never going to get to $1. It definitely will. And by the way, for those of you guys that do not know, Dogecoin is currently at like 50 cents or so. But this is just the weirdest and stupidest, most volatile thing that I've ever seen in my life. A literal meme has now turned into one of like the third biggest cryptocurrencies out there. So what even is this Dogecoin? Because to me, it made absolutely no sense. So I'm going to try to explain it to you guys in the simplest way possible, because honestly, it took a while for my small brain to even comprehend. Dogecoin is a cryptocurrency based off of a meme of a dog. It's like the Shibu something Inu. I don't even know how it's pronounced. It's a picture of a dog from 2013. That's literally all it is. It is an online virtual token. Now, some people may ask, what does it represent? What does it mean in real life? Nothing. It literally means nothing. And it's based off of the idea, if somebody wants something, it has value. It can be legitimately nothing, but as long as they want it, it has value. And so that's the thing. You can be buying basically thin air, absolutely nothing. I've talked about this with NFTs. You can be buying literally nothing, but if a lot of people want it, then it has a ton of value, especially if it's scarce or even one of a kind. Basically, you can mine this coin online in a very limited sense, meaning that it's pretty hard to get, and that's why its value keeps on increasing, because more and more people want it, and, well, there is very limited supply of it. It started completely as a joke, with its founders basically just creating this to be a parody of Bitcoin. But slowly but surely, it's become more and more serious. And now you have people on Wall Street that are just talking about this all the time, the Dogecoin. People are investing their life savings, which, by the way, I would not do that, into a coin that represents legitimately nothing. It sounds stupid, right? That's literally the point. That is the point of this entire thing. Oh, by the way, you know what else is stupid? My channel. Please, if you could, subscribe to it. There we go. A very simple plug. At least I don't do the, according to YouTube statistics, only 2.5% of you guys are subscribed. Anyways, now that you understand the entire concept behind this whole Dogecoin craze, let's explain the culture behind it. Because you guys heard about the whole SNL, Saturday Night Live thing, but you might not understand why Elon Musk's entire skit prompted all this madness with Dogecoin. See, let me explain it to you. The eccentric billionaire, and at one point the richest man in the world, Elon Musk, loves Dogecoin, and basically any cryptocurrency, but mostly Dogecoin. He even declared himself on Twitter the Doge Father. Yeah, it makes no sense. I know, none of this makes sense, and that's why it is one of the dumbest, but yet funniest things ever. It's one of those fill-in-the-blank story things, like, hey, give me an eccentric billionaire's name and a dead meme from 2013, and then boom, you just have the entire Dogecoin story. Okay, so now it may seem weird to have a story in the middle of this video, but to be honest with you, my videos are structured weird anyways, and I need to prove a point. So I am in a very basic computer science course at my high school, okay? We have a teacher that is all virtual, even though she is fully vaccinated. I don't know why she's like that. But anyways, we have a chaperone whose name I will not say, of course, for confidentiality. And this man basically just sits there for the entire day and does pretty much nothing except watch the class. That's his entire job. And so that's pretty boring, right? So sometimes he'll kind of try and spark conversation with students and stuff. And one day he comes up and he's like, hey, have you heard about that whole Dogecoin thing? Now, he's a millennial, of course. He's like, I don't know, he's in his 30s or so. And he is like the last person I would have thought would be like, oh, wow, knowing about Dogecoin, the stupidest cryptocurrency out there. And so I kind of knew about it and we talked about it for a while, but it really just struck me because you wouldn't think that finances would get tied in with a meme. And then it would go so mainstream that just everyone knows about it. Heck, even my grandparents know about it. I remember talking to them about the whole cryptocurrency thing. We talked about when GameStop blew up because they are really into the whole investing thing. Now they actually invest smartly. They're in things for the long haul. They don't go after these fad stocks and everything. They know what they're doing. So they personally think that this whole Dogecoin thing is pretty stupid, and it makes absolutely no sense. And it doesn't. And to be honest with you, I agree with them. I would never spend money on this. However, of course, I'm not the type of person that's like, oh my goodness, we need to shut these things down. You know, a year ago, if you would have told me that somehow GameStop stock would have rocketed up 3,000%, and we would have had an obscure coin off of the internet suddenly rise into fame on Twitter, well, to be honest with you, I wouldn't be surprised, because weird stuff happens all the time. But what would surprise me is that people on Wall Street take this stuff so seriously. Like, there were actual places that when, like, Wall Street bets became huge, they would actually start monitoring the amount of comments that were being made on that subreddit in order to gauge relevancy. Like, to a certain extent, I don't know, when people take stuff that serious, and especially with finances, it's always a slippery slope, because there is a very fine line between a joke, a meme, you know, putting down little rocket emojis, and people taking this so seriously that they are willing to bet their entire lives on it. You know, there are a lot of people out there that don't really know what they're doing. Like, if you know what you're doing, if you understand how this stuff works, then I would recommend investing in some of these things. But you have to understand the risk. You have a lot of people that don't know what they're doing, that are dipping their life savings into a market that they really don't know much about. Me personally, I'm not very good at this anyway. Sorry to sound, shall we say, boomerish, but sometimes the highest risk path is not always the best way to go. Again, me personally, this is my opinion. I would never do that with my life savings, if I had any, of course. I'm a high schooler, so I don't have a house or kids, or do I? But if you are going to invest in this stuff, here are some little tips that are basically like the baseline of anyone that is trying to get into investing needs to know. Never put all your eggs into one basket, okay? Never put all of your money onto Dogecoin or Bitcoin or something. Make sure to spread it out, diversify. You know, that reduces your risk and almost ensures gains. Number 2, always buy the dip, okay? Never buy a stock when it's at its height, because there is a certain bias of people think that's going to continue to go up. And the fact is that that is not true. That is a bias on the market. And you have to watch out for that. Always buy it when it's in the dip. And once you buy, never panic sell. That is a great and easy way to lose a lot of money. Just wait. If you lose money in the long run, you'll probably gain it back eventually. And oh my God, this is some weird stuff. Stay safe out there. And if you do become a millionaire, please just send me a couple $100,000. I'll give you my address, I swear. I respect it. I probably would not be investing in this, but if you are, just make sure to stay safe. I mean, never drop your life savings into something. It's just a very bad idea. There are a lot of cases of people becoming millionaires off of it, but I think what some people forget is that there are also a lot of cases where people lose all of their money. This is mostly gambling at the end of the day. Remember that. Bye, guys.